Champions League football secured. Arsenal's in the mud. I'm not here to banter because last time I bantered, it didn't go down well. We've not really done extremely well either. But it is what it is. We've got Champions League, but we're here for another edition of Chelsea News Blitz. So let's get on with it.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea News Blitz. We're going to go through a whole heap of things. We'll go through some transfer news. We're going to go through some Chelsea ownership news. There's been a little bit of kerfuffle that's been happening around there. Some, once again, journalists trying to play tricks on us, and we are going to try and look through that. And we're going to try and see some of the things that current players are talking about as well in terms of transfer news as well. And we're going to try and wrap things up with the fact that we've qualified for Champions League for next season, courtesy of Arsenal bottling it against Newcastle. Newcastle's a very good team. Arsenal not making top four this season. I'll tell you what, they're going to find it very difficult to make top four next season because it ain't going to be easy next season. If you can't get top four this season, it ain't going to be easy next season, but it is what it is. Let's get on with the news, ladies and gentlemen. First up, we're going to talk about Big Rom. Some big news are happening around this particular player, and the player that's rumored with Chelsea at the moment is Robert Lewandowski, and there's some serious, talks about Robert Lewandowski. And if we're talking about Robert Lewandowski, what does it mean for Romelu Lukaku? So let's check this out. Thomas Tuchel did not want to adapt his style for Lukaku. Lukaku's signing last summer came after Chelsea held talks for Harry Kane, Robert Lewandowski, and Erling Haaland. None were viable, so Lukaku was signed instead. This is from Nizar Kinsella from The Goal. Nizar, when it comes to transfer news, and also what's his name? Matt Law, Simon Johnson, all these people, when it comes to transfer news and internal Chelsea information, they're quite spot on. This is interesting. Thomas Tuchel did not want to adapt his style to Lukaku. So my question is, why? Why did we even go through that particular path? It's 100 million, and we're not talking about petty change. Like, it's not like, okay, 20 million, let's get this guy in. Hopefully he'll do something for us, and then we'll look for a permanent solution next season. This is a big investment. If you weren't interested in this particular player, and all along you were interested in Harry Kane, Robert Lewandowski, and Erling Haaland, and you've realized that you've failed to get any of them, this is the exact thing we cannot do under the new ownership, settling for something that we didn't really want, if this is the case. Because I've got my own theory, and then obviously the reporters have their own theory. It's up to you guys to decide what you think about it. I personally think, at the end of the day, if you didn't want him, why did Thomas Tuchel still put the tick mark on the transfer? He should have said, look, I'd rather not do with a striker of Lukaku's quality because it's not going to meet our requirements. I'd rather look at what I have, which is Havertz and Timo Werner, and play with that particular structure. Maybe even contemplate keeping someone like Armando Broja as a backup option from the bench if need be. To spend 100 million, we're not talking about. This is ridiculous. So that's my theory. But looks like, Romelu Lukaku was never a option, and we wanted those other three. Let's continue on what else is going on in regards to this particular news. Chelsea have tried to sign Lewandowski 3 times in the past, and Tuchel would be interested in working with him. So look, Robert Lewandowski, there was big talks that he's gone to Barcelona. He wasn't going to sign a contract extension. He's won everything at Bayern Munich. He wants to do something else now, and he was heavily involved with Barcelona. But Barcelona, with their financial issues, are in the mud. They need to sell up to 100 million in sales, which is not going to be easy for them. They've already sold Coutinho, I think, for about 20 million or so. They've got to keep selling a lot more players if they want to register a player like Lewandowski, which is looking to be very difficult for them. That's why Ousmane Dembele is up for grabs as well, because they simply don't have the financial means at the moment to register all these players. If Chelsea's interested in Lewandowski, I personally have no issues with it. Yes, his age is a concern. I think he's 34, but he's one of those players, just like Benzema, I think is getting better and better by age. How much long is this going to last for? I don't know. Probably won't last for too long. So Lewandowski cannot be a long-term solution. It could just be for this season and maybe max next season. Eventually enough, we will have to get someone. I don't know whether you look at someone like Armando Broja, being an understudy down the track. I've already said, for me, Kai Havertz is a second striker, someone who plays just behind the main guy. I don't think Kai Havertz can become the main guy. Like I'm okay to be proven wrong if that's the case, but I personally don't think Kai Havertz is a 20, 25 goals, 30 goals a season kind of player. I think he's someone like you can chip in with 10 to 15 goals and also chip in with 10 plus assists. That's the kind of player that I think he is, still a top quality player. Just don't think he's a ruthless striker. Lewandowski, on the other hand, will fit into Thomas Tuchel's style. Thomas Tuchel wants his strikers, as far as we've seen so far in the 2 seasons, half season last season and then full season this season. He wants his striker to be mobile. He wants his striker to work hard. And Lewandowski will do that. On top of that, Lewandowski is a clinical finisher. Not going to sit here and go through all his stats. Everyone knows how good he is, not just in the Bundesliga, also in the Champions League. Bayern Munich comes up against many teams in Bundesliga that want to defend against them, so he knows more or less how to play against a low block. I'm not saying most Bundesliga teams sit back and just look for the counters against Bayern Munich. There are teams that try to go toe-to-toe with them. It's very open over there. But I'm not worried about that particular scenario because Lewandowski, he's very good in tight spaces. His technical ability is very good. He's 100% a lot better than Romelu Lukaku, in my opinion, from that perspective. Tight spaces, technicality, finishing-wise as well. Different type of a striker, I suppose. You can use Lewandowski with Thomas Tuchel's structure, his system, fluid front three, striker that wants to work hard. Whereas Lukaku is really built for counter-attacking football. Do you know what I mean? He wants the ball quickly on his feet. Lukaku is not someone who's very good in tight spaces, Lewandowski. So for me, it's okay. But at the same time, this isn't a long-term solution. So we will need someone down the track to think about. But let me know how you feel about Lewandowski. I think the Barcelona situation could be in the mud and we could be in for a shot here. He's got one more season left, I think, with Bayern Munich. He doesn't want to sign the contract extension, so we could possibly get him for fairly cheap. Chelsea have Lewandowski on their radar, and Thomas Tuchel loves him. It is a long shot at the moment, and much depends on what happens with Romelu Lukaku. That's the other thing. I don't think it's going to be that easy to get rid of Romelu Lukaku. He's got 4 years in his contract, and we bought it for 100 million. His stocks are low. Which team out there is going to get him? Besides PSG, I really can't see any other team. Does he go to Bayern Munich? Maybe that's not a Bayern kind of player. A lot of people are saying that maybe it's a swap deal with Bayern. Lukaku goes that way, and then Lewandowski comes to our side. I think in his interview, Romelu Lukaku, that infamous interview, he did say, the top clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. So those are the clubs that he wanted to go to after Inter Milan. Chelsea wasn't in his radar. So watch this space. Look what happens. I think it's going to be very difficult to get rid of Romelu Lukaku. So we'll see what happens there. Timo Werner wants to leave Chelsea this summer. Look, this is a no-brainer. This is really a no-brainer. I don't think he's got a spot in the squad. Yes, he had a bit of a spell in between recently, but then again, he fell into that same lull situation. Overall, we need better. So I'm not surprised by that one bit. And I think for his own sake, he needs to leave Chelsea Football Club as well. Chelsea had been pushing for Rafinha as a summer target since January, but sanctions have frozen negotiations, and Barca are now leading the race. I don't think Barca's leading the race. Barca's got massive problems, man. This guy, if he's going anywhere, he's probably still waiting for us. Look, I think he's a top quality winger, and I think under Thomas Tuchel, he's probably going to get better. But recently for Leeds, and I'm not having a go at Rafinha himself, Leeds as a team aren't playing well. I just expected Rafinha to do even better. I really thought he's going to galvanise the team and take the opposition by the scruff of their neck and help them get out of this relegation battle situation. And I don't think he's done that. Jared Bowen, on the other hand, from West Ham, has really outshone Rafinha. Look, I wouldn't be upset because we could possibly get him for a cheap as well. Some people are stating somewhere around £25 million because Leeds are going to get relegated, and we could possibly get him for cheap. He's a very good player. He's fantastic in terms of 1v1. He can beat his man, hit the byline, whipping crosses, score goals as well. But I wanted better. I haven't been entirely impressed by his performances this particular latter half, the second half of this season. But you let me know how you think about Rafinha. I've always liked Rafinha. So I'm not against this particular move. I just can't wait till this sanctions situation finishes. And we're going to talk about the Chelsea ownership stuff very soon. And I hope that we get Todd Bowley as an official sort of winner from the government and the Premier League very, very soon. I mean, Todd Bowley's been speaking to the women's team, the men's team as well. Nothing in serious, but he's been involved talking to both the managers, so he's around. And he, at the end of the day, he's going to be taking over. There's no doubt about that. But until and unless that is done and dusted, all of this stuff is going to be in the pause. Okay, according to Sports Witness at Foot Mercato, are reporting that Liverpool are a priority for Aurelien Tchouameni this summer. This isn't the first time I've seen this. I've actually seen some Liverpool fans talking about this. Tchouameni is apparently touted to go to Liverpool, and I'm not surprised by that. Liverpool are a very good organisation, a well-established organisation, winning trophies this season as well. They're in line for the quad. Whether it happens, I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope they lose the Champions League to Real Madrid, and I hope City finishes things off next week with Aston Villa. But Tchouameni going there is only going to galvanise them even more. I mean, they've already got Thiago Alcantara. Then you have Tchouameni, on top of all the other players that they have in their artillery. They're just going to get better. And this is what Thomas Tuchel has been saying in the press conference recently, that we can't seem to get closer to Liverpool and Man City because Liverpool and Man City are getting better and better every transfer window. We, on the other hand, are making mistakes like Romelu Lukaku. If that is deemed to be a mistake, I suppose. If that's exactly what we need to believe, what Nizar and Goal and everyone else is saying. We can't make mistakes. We need to have solid transfer windows for the next 4 or 5 windows if we are to close the gap. We can't make a single mistake with any player acquisitions. And also we need to get rid of players as well. Very important. Tchouameni going to Liverpool. Wow. You think they're good now? They're just going to get better and better. Cesar Azpilicueta had a verbal agreement with Roman Abramovich allowing him to leave Chelsea this summer, and he now expects the new owners to honor that agreement. Look, I would honor this. I would really honor this. I love Cesar Azpilicueta. He's a club legend. I thank him for all his services. He's been sensational. There was a point where he was the best right back, left back, best right CB, whether it's 4 at the back, 3 at the back, he was the best choice everywhere. But now it's come to a point where the legs are gone. And I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I don't want to see this player start for us at all next season if he sticks around. At best, off the bench, but even then, I don't think it's worth it. Football is developing in such a pace. You need far more robust players than Cesar Azpilicueta. And this is okay. He's getting old. And he may have a very good opportunity to go to Barcelona and get a I suppose, end of career contract with them. I think he's getting a 2-year contract apparently and a year option as well to extend. So that's perfect. He's not going to get that level of contract with Chelsea. And he's going to be on a free. So it's a perfect case scenario for Barcelona. I think we should honor this. We should honor this, and we should look for new players to basically bolster our team. There's talks that Serginho Dest could be part of a swap deal in this scenario with Cesar Azpilicueta, and I'm all up for that. I've watched Serginho Dest a couple of times when I've watched Barcelona, and he would be a good rotational option with Reece James. He's very quick. He can whip in some crosses as well. And under Thomas Tuchel, he's young as well, man. Under Thomas Tuchel, he could develop. And I'm all up for that. At the end of the day, Reece James is the number one right wing back. And then Serginho Dest would be a very, very good understudy just behind him and would do a very good job when and if required, I suppose. So I'm all up for that. Antonio Rudiger. Thomas Tuchel is, this is from Antonio Rudiger, a quote, Thomas Tuchel is, I know everyone says this, like my father. If I look back at my career, he's the best coach I've ever had. I mean, these lovely words. This is why I say I don't think Rudiger ever wanted to leave. I know recently, post-match, he said that our sanctions had nothing to do with it, this, that, the other, but I think might have been in the heat of the situation after losing the FA Cup. Had we had a bit more time, had we just come to some sort of middle ground in terms of, paying him the right amount of money, maybe we could have got this over the line. It's sad, but I'm over it now. Initially, it really hurt me a lot, but I'm over it. It's time for a new era, time for a new look for Chelsea. Definitely going to miss Antonio Rudiger. He's been a massive character. And under Thomas Tuchel, he's been one of the best CBs, if not the best, alongside Thiago Silva. So good luck to Antonio Rudiger. But yeah, you can see how much he loved Thomas Tuchel and how much he loved Chelsea. Chelsea are reportedly refusing to let go. So these are some Chelsea ownership news now. So we've gone through some transfer news now. Let's talk about some Chelsea ownership situation. Chelsea are reportedly refusing to let the money go into an escrow account, a legal arrangement in which a third party temporarily holds the money. A government source warned the deal may fall apart and that Abramovich is willing to let Chelsea go under. I mean, once again, journalists trying to spin a lot of stuff. Breaking. Sources close to Roman Abramovich deny the government version of the events. There you go. As soon as you had that breaking and then you have a follow-up saying these are all false, Roman would not be stopping this. The sale will go through. It's literally now up to the government and Premier League to just sign things off. And I'm certain that will happen very, very soon as well. I'm hoping it happens soon. I've been saying it will happen very, very soon because of the back of what journalists are saying, but hopefully by the end of this month. We're on 17th May now, so not long, a couple of more weeks, and hopefully it's done and dusted. Bruce Buck and Marina have been acting on behalf of Abramovich, and the lack of cooperation from Buck with the government could be a sticking point for his future under Todd Bowley. Bruce Buck needs to go. Bottom line, he needs to go. Bit of a thorn in our cause, and if Todd Bowley knows better, he needs to get rid of Bruce Buck, and he should know better because Bruce Buck was trying his best to give the football club to the Ricketts family. So Todd Bowley, you cannot be working with a particular individual that didn't want you to take over the football club in the first place. So Bruce Buck needs to go. The notion of alarm in Whitehall at the Chelsea sale falling through is denied by my DCM's sources. This is from Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs is one who's been covering this Chelsea sale ownership situation to the T, and he's saying that there is no issue. This will happen very, very soon, and nothing to worry about. Abramovich's people continue to maintain he is cooperating with the government, and a sale is still expected to be completed, and as far as I'm being told, on time. So nothing to worry about, ladies and gentlemen. Journalists are still doing their best to get the clicks. Mike Penrose, a former chief executive of UNICEF UK, has been recruited to establish the foundation that would be charged with using the 2.5 billion of proceeds from the sale of Chelsea FC to benefit the victims of the war in Ukraine. That's the final news. Look, I'm all okay with proceeds of sale going to charity. This was always the case. My only gripe about that was, why are we the only club doing this? Why aren't other clubs doing it? But it is what it is. We move. Todd Bowley, hopefully he gets announced officially, properly as the Chelsea owner. Yes, Chelsea's accepted it. It's now down to Premier League and the government to make that move happen. And then we can start seriously looking into revamping this team. And this team definitely needs some revamping. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about all of these news that we've gone through today. Would love to hear from you guys. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys in a live stream, hopefully sometime very, very soon today. And we'll discuss many things there. Until next time. See ya.